Greetings, YouTube. This is Comic Freakification speaking you directly. I'm going to cover my question collection from DC Universe. Originally, he was a character in the Charleston comics who teamed up with Blue Beetle, originally drawn by Steve Ditko. And the reason why I think DC bought the question is because when they bought the new Blue Beetle, Ted Kord in, they had to have the question because the question teamed up with Ted Kord and a lot of stuff. Alright. Let's just fly through this video. So, got number 1. I am missing some folks, so be prepared. Number 2. Number 3. The artwork's amazing. O'Neill does a lot of good stuff. Sorry, folks. Landslide. Number 7. Number 8. What's great about the question is that he has no powers at all. He's just mentally driven, physically exhausted to the point where he is so human that it's ridiculous because he has done so much none of us would do. So that's 11. Number 12. I mean, what's more scarier than a guy with no face pummeling you in because you know that's what you get if you're breaking the crime, if you're doing the crime. 16. This was a good cover. They had the Watchmen. He was on a flight and he was reading the Watchmen. 17. It wasn't in issue 17, but it's in the question comics. 19. And he asked himself on the plane when he read it, saying, you know, what would Warjack do? They have so many little things in here, like other tributes to Watchmen, V for Vendetta. I remember in a Justice League comic, my friend Sam told me, where Superman's running around the world and he stops at the store and he sees the book that the original Night Owl and Watchmen wrote. So it kind of gives you the hint that the Watchmen were in the DC universe as real characters, not just as fictional characters. 21. 22. And also the chick who trains question is Shiva, who is the apprentice of Richard Dragon. 24. 25. I picked up a lot of these at the Goodwill, folks. 26 with the Riddler in it. Kind of a goofy cover. 27. 28. Like I said, Lady Shiva. That's her. She's a martial art expert and will take down anybody. 29, question with Shiva in the front cover. 30. The art's really good, I like it. It's very derogatory, kind of like, I wouldn't say derogatory, I mean, just very, very dirty and crude in some issues, just to match the story. 32, good cover. Vietnam, just if y'all were curious, that's what the scene was, Vietnam, not World War II. 33, 34, classic, where he has the blue trench coat and the blue hat. If you know the question, you probably see him in Justice League of America, when he teams up with the Huntress in a bunch of episodes. I love those episodes. 35, here's a good cover, very serious face without a face. 36. These are suggested for mature readers, and I do caution everybody, if you're going to let your kid read something, please check and see if it says suggested for mature readers or so-and-so. After 36, they stopped, and then when Blackest Night kicked in, they made number 37. It was a really inept story, in-depth story. I liked it. But when Vic Sage died, he died in the 52 saga, 52 weeks, and his girl became the new question when Lady Shiva wanted to be, but she didn't get to be. Here's the annual with fables, like in my Green Arrow and my Batman videos. Okay. Here's the second annual, 1989. Number 2 with Green Arrow. Green Arrow and Question team up a lot too, apparently. Alright. The Question Quarterly was just a big magazine. It was had more stories in it. And I got one, and I got two. Picked these up at a Goodwill. Thankfully they didn't have the cover damaged. And that's my question video, guys. Thanks for stopping and watching. This is Comic Freakification, sign off.